Hi, Katie Winkle here with There's a Balance for That. And today I want to talk about how you know if you have a problem with money. If you're a service provider, especially wellness practitioner, and especially if you're self-employed, the way you know if you have a problem with money is if you start feeling icky or too salesy every time you go to present a protocol or a plan to somebody in order to help them on their healing journey. The reason I know this is because it's been something that I've had to deal with myself, so it's really easy for me to identify it with my clients. It's one of my very favorite things to work on. But oftentimes what happens is somebody doesn't want to say, well, I need to see you twice a week for the next 2 months, or I need to see you once a week for the next 6 weeks. They don't want to say those things because they don't want to come across as one of those people that's just trying to get somebody's money. And it's because they're associating too much emphasis on the money compared to what the outcome of the service is for their client or for their patient. This shows up all the time, right? As a service provider, as a professional, you know it's going to take more than one visit, more than one session to really unpack and support somebody in the way that they most need to be supported. But we are in such a society of quick fixes. We expect that we're going to lose 20 pounds in a month. We expect that we are going to be able to solve all of our problems overnight because we are so used to instant gratification. And so when you add that in to the plan where, okay, I can help you, and this is what it's going to take, and this is what the investment is, what happens sometimes, or actually so much of the time, is that service providers, especially if they're in a space where they want to help people, they don't want it to be about the money, and they're so afraid of somebody thinking that it's going to be about the money that's the part that gets the most amplified, and that's the piece that really keeps them from providing the service that their clients or their patients need from them because they're so in that rather than what the outcome is. Here's an example for you. I had a woman that I met last year that had been coming to see me. I met her a few times in the fall, and then fast forward a few months, I reached out to her. I just had a feeling something was going on. I contacted her. She's pretty much literally like in crisis on the floor in her bathroom, like wondering who can help me with this. And my name popped into her head. And of course, that's the moment that I call. And so I worked with her through the remaining amount of her package that she had bought for me last year. And at the end of that, I knew she needed more. And up until that point, I pretty much just offered my service in packages or programs of 8 visits. And I have my process for how to get people through what they need to get through in that amount of time. But I knew that this woman needed more than that. She didn't get to where she was in just 6 months. This was 30 years of stuff having built up for her. And so I knew it was going to take more than 8 visits to get her to where she wanted to go. And I had to have like a sit down with myself basically to say, okay, she needs more than that. Why are you so afraid to tell her what she needs? And I realized it was because it was going to cost more than what I had previously been charging my clients. And I was going to have to structure a program for her that would be in the 5 figures because that was what she needed in order to get her out of this crisis situation. And so since I was able to work through that, it was really easy. It's become really easy for me to identify that with the clients that I work with now. That woman did decide to continue investing with herself. That was 6 months ago. She still sees me just about every single week. And to watch the transformation of that for her, it's not about the money. The money is kind of a catalyst. It's an investment in herself. I am thrilled when I see her because to watch her process things and to let go of the things that no longer serve her and to support her in the places where she can't do that on her own is a huge gift for me. The money's nice. It helps me pay my bills, but that's not really what the service is about. It's about watching people go through the transformation process. And I know as a service provider, that's what you want as well. You want to watch people and support them through their transformation process. But if you put too much emphasis and fear on what people are going to think of you, and you start in the fears around being too salesy, there's some disconnects there for you. And I would love to be able to support you with this. It's one of my favorite things to work on. You can really unmuddy the water between money and service if you can get straight on what your values are around money and what kind of relationship that you have with money yourself. So if this is something that resonates with you, I would love to hear from you. You can send me a message here or connect with me on my website at there'sabalanceforthat.com. Click the book now button. There's a 20-minute phone call there, and we can take it from there. Thanks so much for being here today, and I'll see you next time.